Myself, Dr. Rajeshri Dua, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Swami Vivekananda Institute of Science and Technology. Already, I have covered two important topics related to electrical and hybrid vehicle, that is basics of vehicle performance and mathematical models to analyze vehicle performance. Now we are moving on to the concept of hybrid traction and the conceptual illustration of a hybrid electric vehicle powertrain. As already discussed, that as we are gradually moving towards electric vehicles which are powered by batteries, we are actually getting certain drawbacks because battery electric vehicles, they need certain charging points, and also if the battery gets exhausted, the vehicle cannot run. So the extra mileage or extra working of the vehicle is not possible. For that matter, what we are trying to do, we are trying to go for a hybrid electric vehicle. Why the word hybrid? Because it is taking into consideration the IC engine as well as the battery source. That is, this particular vehicle is having two power source. One is the IC engine generator set and the another one will be the battery or the fuel cell. So we can run the vehicle either in the battery mode or in the IC engine mode or in the hybrid mode. So as we have already said that battery electric vehicles have the major advantage of having zero carbon emission, but hybrid electric vehicles does not have that advantage. But still, when we are getting extra mileage and when we can use the vehicle for long runs, this little bit of carbon emission, which is quite less compared to traditional vehicles, can be taken into consideration. So, what is the concept of a vehicle powertrain? A vehicle powertrain is required to develop sufficient power to meet the demands of the vehicle performance, carry sufficient energy on board to support the vehicle driving at a sufficient rate, demonstrate high efficiency and emit fewer pollutants. So, a vehicle powertrain actually maximizes the efficiency and minimizes the fuel consumption and also reduces the carbon emission. So, what we can say that a hybrid electric vehicle traditionally can have more than two powertrains. But for our consideration, as it is a hybrid model, we are considering two powertrains. So what is the powertrain? The powertrain is the combination of the power source and the power converter, which is illustrated in the next figure. See. So this is the energy source 1 along with the energy converter, which is actually comprising of powertrain 1. So this powertrain 1 is unidirectional in nature and this powertrain 2 is bidirectional in nature. This is the beauty of the hybrid electric vehicle powertrain, that one powertrain will be unidirectional in nature and the second powertrain is bidirectional in nature. Now what is the need for that bidirectional powertrain? Okay, so this is illustrated by this point. Most of the vehicles, whenever they are braking, the kinetic energy is lost, but this hybrid vehicle has a function of getting that energy back in the form of regenerative braking. When the vehicle is braking, the kinetic energy can be utilized to charge this powertrain 2. So that's why the powertrain 2 is receiving power from powertrain 1 as well as from the load. Here, what is the load? The load is nothing but the propulsion motor or the electric motor. When in the regenerative braking mode, this electric motor acts as generator and it recharges its energy source too, which can be a battery or can be a fuel cell. So, this bidirectional and this unidirectional concept is clear from here. So, this is energy source 1 with energy converter 1. This is energy source 2 with energy converter 2. Both of them are culminating here and feeding power to the load. Now, one can see that this arrow, bold arrow, is nothing but the power flow while propelling, while this dotted arrow is nothing but the power flow while charging powertrain 2. Now, as we can see that this power flow will have several routes. So, when we are trying to illustrate this question, what is the conceptual illustration of a hybrid electric vehicle powertrain, we need to know the possible power flow routes, which will be explained later. So, So as we can see, a hybrid drivetrain can supply its power to the load by a selective powertrain, and there are many available patterns of operating the two powertrains. So these 9 patterns are there. Now, what are these 9 patterns? Pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, pattern 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So, what is the first pattern? Let me go back to the previous slide. Okay, so the first mode is that when this powertrain 1 is delivering its power to the load. So directly from this energy source to this energy converter directly to the load. So this is the mode 1 or the possibility 1 of the power flow. In the second one, what we will do, that is the energy source will directly give its power to the load. So this is the ICT mode working, this is the battery mode working. Now in the hybrid mode, both of them will work together and deliver their power to the load. So that is actually 3. So that is the mode 3 when both are working together in the hybrid mode. Now mode 4 is the most important mode that I have already discussed, that is the regenerative braking, when the power is flowing from the load to this energy source 2 and it is charging the powertrain 2. So that is mode 4. So mode 1, mode 2, mode 3 hybrid and mode 4. There are another 5 modes. So one mode will be when this energy source 1 will be charging this energy source 2. That is the IC generator set can charge the battery. So that is mode 4. Another mode is there which is known as the mode 5, where this particular powertrain 1 will deliver its power to the load as well as it will charge this powertrain 2. So that is another mode. Then we will have more modes. So what we can say, that this particular energy source 1 and energy converter is charging this energy source 2, and this charge energy source can deliver its power back to the load. So that is another mode. So what we can see, that this energy source 2 is getting power from this powertrain 1. It is also getting its power from the load. So it can get power from both direction, and also when needed it can deliver its power to the load. Therefore this particular source is bidirectional, and mostly bidirectional DC to DC converters or power electronic devices are very much needed to realize this particular model of the hybrid powertrain. Then this mode 5, I have already said that this powertrain is obtaining 2 is obtaining power from the load. Then what is this point 6? Then what happens? The powertrain 2 is obtaining power from powertrain 1 and the load simultaneously, which means powertrain 1 is charging powertrain 2, the load is also charging powertrain 2. Then we have this routes 7, 8 and 9. So 7 is what? The powertrain 1 is delivering its power to the load and also it is charging powertrain 2 simultaneously. Point 8 is powertrain 1 is delivering its power to the powertrain 2 and powertrain 2 is delivering its power to the load, and the last mode is powertrain 1 delivers its power to the load and load during regenerative braking is delivering its power to powertrain 2 and charging it. So once these different modes are actually clear to the students, they can easily analyze the complex hybrid vehicle powertrain, which is actually complex, but as we go through this particular topic, at the end of the topic, 2 things should be kept in mind. That is, the powertrain 1 is considered to be unidirectional and the powertrain 2 is considered to be bidirectional, which can deliver power to the load, which can get charged by powertrain 1 and which can get charged by load 2 during regenerative braking. So if all these things are kept in mind, we can conceptually illustrate a hybrid electric vehicle powertrain. Now, along with this, we need to keep in mind about the different architectures of hybrid electric drivetrain. This concept of powertrain 1 and powertrain 2 simultaneously feeding the load is nothing but the series configuration. So, in this particular figure, this is the series configuration, electrical coupling. In this particular figure, figure B, we are showing the parallel combination. Figure C is a combination of both series and parallel, and this figure D is nothing but the complex combination. So what these combinations actually tell us, as we have already said, this fuel tank and IC engine is the combination of the powertrain 1, while battery and the power converter is a combination of powertrain 2. In between, the bold black line is the electrical link, the straight line is the hydraulic link, and when both straight lines are present, so that is the mechanical link. Now this part is actually the transmission, that is this part will be the motor along with the transmission and the differential which is going to the wheels. So what happens? The fuel cell IC engine and the generator combination and the battery both are getting electrically coupled at this power converter, which I have already explained, is a DC to DC bidirectional converter. From there, it is feeding the electric motor, and the electric motor through the mechanical link is providing the power to the transmission. As this is a series combination, when both are connected parallelly, it becomes a parallel combination, and this parallel combination is done by the help of a mechanical coupler, which is nothing but a particular gearbox. So this fuel cell IC combination, the battery power converter and the electric motor, both getting converted to the mechanical coupler, and the mechanical coupler is getting connected to the transmission. Now for the series parallel combination, it is nothing but this figure A and figure B merged together to form this figure C. So we have fuel cell, IC engine, mechanical coupler, battery, power converter, electrical motor, and this mechanical coupler and the power converter. In between this, we are having the generator, and then this mechanical coupler and this electrical motor through mechanical link is connected to the transmission. So what happens? The series parallel combination actually merges the advantages of the series drivetrain as well as the parallel drivetrain. And now we have this complex combination. What is this complex combination? Here the matter is that the entire configuration becomes a little complex because we are having two power converters. One through the battery and the other via this battery. So we have fuel tank, we have IC engine, we have mechanical coupler getting into the transmission, then we have the motor generator set, but we are having two power converters. So more the power converters are there, we need more power electronics devices to actually realize this complex combination. Therefore, the traditionally used combinations for the hybrid electric vehicle powertrain are the series combination, parallel combination or series parallel. This complex combination is a lesser used configuration. So the details of it is actually given in this particular slide which I have already illustrated. So from here we can say that we traditionally use this electrical coupling series combination of hybrid electric drivetrain. We can also use the mechanically coupled parallel hybrid electric drivetrain, or we can use both the series parallel drivetrain, but for knowing purpose or for the knowledge purpose, we also need to have an idea about the complex powertrain. So as the powered hybrid electric drivetrain's architecture is moving from this to this to this to this, the complexity is actually increasing in hierarchy. So if all these particular architectures are kept in mind, each and every block will have its own components, and for the simplification point of view, if the architecture or the diagrams is given, this block diagram kind of a thing is very much easy for the students to also visualize and for us to also explain. So the entire hybrid electric vehicle powertrain, the different architectures is discussed here, and I think it should be helpful for the students in their semester exam.